enemies as you strike them.
Oh!
I
Yeah.
love it. You may notice we have...
What's up, everybody? I'm Jerry Gamer. Welcome back to the channel today. We are back. I didn't even know this event was happening today, but this is a 35-minute video talking about the new stuff coming to Path of Exile. We got swords coming. We got Duelist, so we had to check it out. It's a late upload, so those that are watching tonight, I appreciate you. Those that are watching in the morning, good morning. So let's see what we got to talk about. My family, without further ado,
I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. And today I'm excited to show off our new class, the Duelist. Which will be available in the 1.0 release on December the 11th.
I love it, my class is here.
But for those of you who just can't wait until 1.0 later this year, after showing the Duelist, we'll also be showing off a new event based on the Ritual League called the Forbidden Rites, which will be releasing next week along with the 055 update.
Okay.
And after all
we
that,
might come back for this.
Q&A with Ziggy D to answer your questions from Twitch chat. But not only that, afterwards we'll be going straight to the final qualifier for the PoE2 races, the winner of which will be going to ExileCon in November to compete in the finals.
Boom.
But first, the Duelist.
Let's see the Duelist.
Now the Duelist comes with a new weapon type that it's kind of crazy we didn't have. Swords.
Yeah,
with
I
each
know.
New weapon type, we want to make sure that the playstyle feels different to all the others.
Jeez.
So what defines combat with the sword? To us, it's that feeling of flow.
Oh my
from attack
God.
to attack,
My boy's
from
dancing.
Stance to stance.
That boy
And
dancing.
what better place to demonstrate the Duelist's abilities than the ruins of the Grand Arena?
Let's go.
Corpses of the dead continue to fight endlessly as the arena collapses around them.
Okay.
And should you get to the center,
Okay.
you'll be able to face Thrax, their champion. The first mechanic we need to talk about is Ready Stance.
What's that?
After using some Duelist skills, you can keep holding the button to ready your blades for your next strike.
Ooh.
Normally, your basic sword slash would look like this.
Okay.
In Ready Stance, it turns into a deadly AoE slash
Like a
instead.
little beam you get,
Your
right?
Ready Stance also has the ability to be upgraded. This is Sand Scour, another Ready Stance attack.
Oh.
And if you stun
AoE.
enemies with it, you'll enter Sand Stance. And using this with your default attack will send out a sand disc.
Okay.
But default attack isn't the only ability that can be modified by your stance.
Good
like
thrust.
Perforate, for example. This skill is a triple stab, where the third strike sends out drills, bleeding your enemies. But from Ready Stance, you can skip right to the drills. If you use it from Sand Stance, though, it will send out a bunch of mini sand discs from every enemy it hits.
Oh,
Perfect
nice.
for large packs. Together, these basic abilities give a very unique feel to sword combat.
Yeah,
it's
it
quite
does.
different than any other class we've made.
Yeah, that's pretty
flowing
spicy.
From ability to ability. There's also some abilities that you can use while in Ready Stance
Like
without
what?
breaking it. A good example are War Cries, like this one, Intimidate.
Time to die!
Use it to deliver a cutting insult to your foe, intimidating them and causing your next attack to knock them off balance.
All
Another
right.
great ability you can use already is Rending Dash. This movement skill slices through monsters, but since you
Ooh.
stay in Ready Stance, it allows you to reposition to the perfect angle to strike.
Ah.
So far, we've been using Sand Stance to tackle these enemies. But
Okay,
what
a
about
little
Blood
thrust.
Stance? For that, we'll need to switch from two-hand to dual wield.
Jeez. Let's go. Dual wields.
Now with swords, we wanted to make sure that the different options of one-hand, two-hand, or dual wield each have their own interesting playstyle.
Okay.
So unlike other weapon types, dual wielding swords gives you the ability to parry attacks.
Oh.
Follow up with Bloodied Blade to enter Blood Stance.
Oh my gosh.
And using this one with default attack, you'll create a deadly blood wave, causing your enemies to bleed. And of course, Blood Stance will also work with other skills that benefit from stances. So use it with Perforate, for example, and you'll get a bunch of mini blood novas. Once your enemies are bleeding, you might want to try out Hemorrhage. This skill creates deadly blood slashes that drastically speed up the bleeding on your enemies. And once the enemies have built up enough blood loss, slice through them with a Rending Dash to consume all the blood loss for a giga bleed.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Now, one skill we couldn't have made the Duelist without is Cyclone. It's
Of
an
course.
absolute fan favorite, and just like before, when using it, you can spin to win. But this
Literally.
class is all about using stances, so how about we try it with one of those? Use Cyclone from Sand Stance, and you'll be spewing sand
Oh.
discs at your enemies left and right.
That's it.
Great for AoE
That's the
clear.
end game build.
Now, Parrying
Everyone's gonna be
also
using
has
that.
a significant upgrade compared to before, and it's a lot more reliable now. But there's also another way to parry monsters that doesn't require waiting for them to attack you.
Oh, good.
By switching to a shield, you can now bash enemies straight out of Ready Stance to parry them without waiting for an attack.
Because sometimes waiting for attacks slows down the gameplay. Was that a problem with Huntress?
During the arena's heyday, challengers would first have to face deadly beasts to test their mettle, so why should it be any different now? Before you can face Thrax, you will need to defeat these dangerous adversaries to prove your worth.
I see. We gotta see it when it gets a little crazier. They're gonna show the endgame builds, I'm sure.
Another trick the Duelist has up his sleeves are buried blades.
Buried blades.
Earthrend creates blades that slice through the ground towards your enemies. And once in the ground, these blades have a few uses. The first one of these can be done using Charged Slash. The basic version is a simple lightning-infused cleave, but do it from ready stance, and it changes into a deadly spin, sending out lightning projectiles.
Duelist is gonna be intricate.
Charged Slash can also be used with the buried blades. Hitting them will turn them into mini Tesla coils, dealing lightning damage to nearby enemies.
Okay, okay. Well, you can do lightning bleed. What
It
else?
seems here we have a warrior who refused to die. I'm sure we could put his equipment to better use.
Just a petty thief.
Oh,
Quiet.
nice. You can steal from corpses now?
You could also switch to a two-hander to plunge your blade into the ground, sending out a set of 3 blades that explode. But if you use Earthrend first, then you can get even more blades, and the blade plunge will make all of them explode. If you want an even greater field of blades, using Ready Stance with Earthrend has an interesting effect. Instead of creating one blade, it makes an entire wall of them.
Ah,
You can
there
also
it is.
hold the blade plunge skill to charge up the
Endgame is
swords
being
even
able
further
to
before they
take out
explode.
as many enemies as possible.
Ooh, watch out for those chimeras. So for maximum damage, use Ready Stance into Earthrend,
To build 'em
Charge
up, then
Dot,
let 'em all
Charge
go.
Slash, into a held blade plunge for
And
a
boom.
massive explosion. But that's not all. Blood and Sand work with the blade plunge too, to empower all your buried blades. Use it with sand to generate continuous sandstorms around all your blades. And this can be a devastating combo to blend bosses. Or use it with blood to create blood pools around each blade.
Jeez, the
Cycloning
blood
through
looks
the
so
blood
good.
pools will add blood to your cyclone.
Oh my
so that could
God.
be a fun option. But
Okay.
while we're talking about that, Cyclone counts as a storm, so it can pick up other elemental ground effects too.
Oh,
Blade Conduit will summon a bolt of lightning to your blade and create shocking ground. And cycloning through it will add lightning to your cyclone. Combine it with the blood to get both effects. And of
Okay.
course, it's possible to get blood, sand, ice, fire, and lightning all at the same time on your cyclone.
there's no.
You guys will have to work out a
There's
good
nothing
build for
else
that
we need to talk about.
yourselves.
Cyclone's it. Everyone's
Already
gonna be
you
rocking
can see
Cyclone.
from just the tools I've shown you, this class has a lot of interesting combinations of abilities.
Yeah, it does.
With even just a few skills, there are a huge number of options you can do in combat. Now before we get to the boss fight of this area, there's just one more skill I'd like to show you.
World Cutter? What's that?
Charge it up and unleash the ultimate slash.
Oh,
But that's not all. Like so many of the Duelist abilities, it can be further enhanced with Blood Stance, or Sand Stance too.
and also you know you have hyper armor right
Alright,
there.
So those are just a few of the tools the Duelist has at his disposal. So let's use them to face the true threat, Thrax, the champion of the arena.
Okay, let's see it. Yeah, they made it a really intricate class. But I want to see the ascendancies too. I'm ready for the comments right now. Too slow! Too slow! This is early game. They never show anything crazy yet in the beginning. Looks like the HP is a little different. That might be the bleed, right? Yeah, we gotta figure out what's optimal. Because some of those skills that take some time to set up might get you in trouble. Or might not do enough damage fast enough. Oh yeah, that one eats. That one eats. I just can't unsee Cyclone being crazy. Oh, this music is going too. He's spinning to winning, bruh. Join him. Okay. Pull the dual blades out. You know you want to. I'll definitely be using dual blades. I like the aggression and consistent energy. Damn, that skill eats.
Alright, so that's a taste of what we have in store for the Duelist. It's my favorite class I've ever worked on, and provides a really dynamic combat experience that's just quite unlike any other ARPG.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to show what kind of possibilities there are for the Duelist in the endgame.
Yeah.
To do that, I'll hand things over to Mark.
Let's see Endgame Duelist.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile.
Yo, let's go, Mark.
Today, we're going to go through 2 endgame builds that we've put together
Oh,
for the
God.
Duelist.
I told you.
made by our
Oh, my.
developers. Our first build is called the Bringer of Blades.
Okay.
A mighty name once feared in the arena.
Get me excited.
This build is all about rising buried blades from beneath the ground.
Okay.
Some say each sword created by this build is from a foe slain in battle in the gladiator arena. And from the afterlife, they offer their sword back to you in respect. The bread
a
and
nuke.
butter of this build uses Earthrend, supported by the lineage support Calm's Madness, to maximize the efficiency of creating buried blades. It combines that with the Blade Conduit skill, to charge up all the blades with lightning. You can also use the Astral Projector support on it to be able to do so from ranged, if you want to minimize risk and play shock round underneath your enemies.
Not bad.
We
Good
also
clear.
have Earthrend supported by Electrocute, so that we can keep the enemies crowd controlled. Then it's just simple. Spam Earthrend, occasionally using Blade Conduit to refresh the charged lightning on all the blades.
I kind of like
For
that they show
stronger
these
enemies
endgame builds like
or
this.
larger packs, we want to be able to get sand stuns. The best way to do that while clearing is using Combat Frenzy. Simple. Now you're generating frenzy charges.
Oh, Combat Frenzy's
With
back.
those, we can use Sand Scour to enter sand stuns. And from sand stuns, use Blade Plunge
Yeah.
to cause sand discs to appear on all of our many
Blade
buried
Plunge is
blades,
there.
covering the screen in storms of sand. Of course,
Yep.
you want to use eroding sands too, because as the sand discs are doing many small hits, you want to make sure enemies have as little armor as possible for maximum damage. Alongside that,
Yeah.
since we're doing lightning damage,
That's a clear.
we're also going to throw in the new support Sandstorm, which causes our sand discs to become infused with lightning.
Oh my God.
The other tool we're using is this support, which causes all your buried blades to add miniature auras that give you damage.
Jeez.
To double down on that further, we have this new passive skill Notable, which also causes your buried blades to make you angry, causing you to generate rage on hit while near them. With those, we want even more buried blades. So, let's take it to the extreme. And for that, we have this skill, Rain of Steel, which allows you to call down a whole ruckus of swords, covering the entire battlefield
Gilgamesh.
in buried blades.
Gilgamesh build.
It's pretty obvious what to do next. Just use the existing combos,
Yep,
and
and
the
boom.
entire screen becomes surging with lightning as sand discs run wild. There's more coming even still. Alongside the Duelist, we've made a whole
Ooh.
bunch of new epic swords.
That
I
katana.
mean, just look at them all. This build in particular uses this sword, which causes all your buried blades to be enhanced by Karui magic and become ancestrally boosted. Then, take these new passive skill notables, specifically for boosted attacks, to improve your efficiency even further. There's a
Damn.
few new ways to boost attacks with the Duelist, and we're excited for you to discover and integrate them into your builds. With all that combined, look at this actual mayhem.
Boom. I like mobility with my attacks though.
Now,
Yeah,
we
that
tried
eats.
to not use unique items on this build, as we wanted to show its potential with just standard gear and skills.
I appreciate that.
But this next one is a different story. So, let's move on to our second build. Here we have the Scourge Walker. For this build, we wanted to do
Scourge.
Cyclone with a twist. For that, we're going to use some uniques.
Oh, yeah, this is
starting
it.
with a new sword being introduced
This is
alongside
it.
the Duelist. Oro's Sacrifice. This sword grants a ton of fire damage, at the expense of your physical damage, and grants a new skill called Infernal Step. Infernal Step itself is pretty fun,
Ooh.
and pretty epic.
Oh
Use it as
my.
you flicker around, burning enemies as you strike them.
Oh.
Be wary though. There are both upsides and
That's
downsides
it.
to using this skill
Oh,
consecutively.
that's it.
Each use gains you a stack of Sacrificial Flame.
Okay.
While this isn't inherently a downside, using Infernal Step while you have Sacrificial Flame causes you to take fire damage, and the more you have, the more you take. So
Amazing.
you want to make sure you mitigate as much fire damage taken as possible.
Sucks.
In order to do this, we're using even more uniques. Like these, which have received some changes. Molten Tenet and Zoph's Blood.
No.
Then we've just
taking
gone
my
and
slots.
used good armor gear in our core armor slots to stack up as much defense as possible. So, what about damage? We're doing a few things here that are pretty out there.
My
Given we're
God.
using Oro Sacrifice, we're dealing purely
That
fire.
fire.
However, we still need to be able to bleed for some huge DPS you'll see soon.
Yeah.
To do that, we're using this unique ring.
Yeah, this is the
Blistering
one.
Bond.
This is the
This
one.
allows our fire damage to scale bleeding, instead of physical damage. Our
Oh.
last unique is Barrack's Respite. As said originally, we want a Cyclone,
Oh my
which
God.
is a wind skill, and can benefit from elemental ground surfaces. Now, our Cyclone is a fiery vortex.
You don't need that
One
vortex
last thing to
to
note
teleport
before
skill.
showcasing our Scourge Walker in action is that Oro's Sacrifice also grants you frenzy charges while at maximum sacrificial flame. This will allow us to fold Bloodied Blade into our rotation between Cyclone sessions to get Blood Enhanced Cyclone.
Oh my
Alright,
God.
now you can see our basic rotation. First, we use Infernal Step a few times. Then, once we have a frenzy charge, we use Bloodied Blade. This puts us in blood stance. And then it's simple. Cyclone away.
Cyclone, bleed,
As
and
you
fire.
can see, we have the perfect harmony of demonic powers. Blood and fire fill the screen. Honestly though, we need to add some horror and flesh to the build to really embrace the fantasy. For that, let's use this new support gem, which we will put on our Cyclone. Given we're already bleeding, this can cause enemies to shed chunks of flesh when hit, which explode after a short delay.
What?
Check out this ruckus. Oh, and while we're at
my.
it, let's add even more fire by using the Fan the Flame support. At this point, you can already see how much this is getting out of control. I
Yeah.
love it. You may notice we have an excess of frenzy charges. So, you want to throw on Echoing Strikes, which consumes all your frenzy charges to cause our next Cyclone to create a bunch of Cyclones.
Oh my God. That's it.
Feel free to add Infernal Cry to the mix, cause
That's
why
it.
not? Okay, well it's already pretty damn strong,
Yeah.
but we can push it further. What about single target? For that, we're going to make use of our second weapon set, and use a one-hand sword and Targe, which grants parry. However, instead of using a regular Targe, we're going to use this Runeforged Targe, which grants us a special version of parry that maintains its stances when used. So if you are in blood stance and use it, you will remain in blood stance afterwards. This includes while using the dashing parry that Jonathan mentioned earlier. We are going to want our parry debuff duration to be as long as possible, so we can spend more time spinning. To get that, we're using another new sword base type. This one adds base duration to parry. We've also then invested into
Bruh.
as much parry duration in this weapon set as possible on new passives on the tree.
Bruh.
Now, we can make this even better by using a new support that allows our parry to apply armor break.
These events are
And
always
to
a
get it to
lot
benefit
to
from
take
our
in.
fire damage, we will anoint the Molten One's gift on our amulet. Now, our armor break causes enemies to take extra fire damage.
You're like, huh?
So now, we just get into blood stance using Bloodied Blade, use parry, which dashes in, keeping us in blood stance.
Oh my
then
God.
we cyclone our way to
Cyclone
glory.
is
Don't forget to
insane.
also use Echoing Strikes once you get enough frenzy charges. I mean, just look at this damage. You may have noticed we didn't show any Ascendancy classes.
Yeah.
That's right. These builds weren't even Ascended, so their build potential goes so much higher. And the Ascendancies are pretty epic. Here's some art to tease them.
Okay.
But to find out more about that, you'll have to check them out when we show them at ExileCon later this year.
Amazing.
We
Gotta
hope
wait.
you enjoyed our Duelist demonstration.
Jeez.
We're really excited to have you get your hands on it and start slicing and dicing throughout Rayclast.
Duels is crazy.
Now, Path of Exile 2's full 1.0 launch is later this year on December 11th. But if you just can't wait till then, Next week we are doing our 055 update, and it includes a bunch of changes as well as a new event.
What kind of
Given
changes?
that, it's finally time to talk about Forbidden Rites, a new
Bro,
event
we got
based on the
too many
Ritual League
games right now
that
to
will be
play.
starting with our 055 patch next week.
On emotion.
But that's not all. We also have a massive overhaul to the Trial of
still gotta
Chaos,
finish
some new Endgame Abyss
Mortal
content,
Shell 2.
and more. So, let's dive straight into it. The King in the Mists and his cultists, left unchecked, have spread their influence. By his will, the Nameless have been performing gruesome rituals throughout Rayclast, all the way from the forests of Ogham to the deserts of the Marraketh, and even Exile and the Karui Islands, afflicting everything around them with a foreboding darkness.
Amazing.
As you can see, they've been quite successful in their efforts, and if not stopped soon, who knows what will become of Rayclast. During the Forbidden Rites event, your goal is to put an end to their nefarious plans. In each
My
area
monk,
of the
I
campaign,
miss you.
you'll find a ritual encounter.
Bro,
For
Cycle
those unfamiliar,
is
these
too
are
strong.
effigies that are guarded by
It's
the
way
Nameless
too
and their
strong.
servants. By defeating them within the ritual site, you can then activate the effigy and fight them again as they are revived by dark magic, all whilst various plagues will try to kill you. Defeating the revived monsters causes their blood to go to the effigy to be used as tribute. After the encounter, use the tribute you earned to acquire rewards.
Okay.
These rituals, unlike their in-game counterparts, will not exclusively reward unique items, and instead will give you a bunch of items useful for leveling, like currency for crafting your gear alongside a bunch of equipment.
Okay.
Ultimately, in every area, you get to kill some monsters and then go on a small shopping spree. However, we know people liked having unique item rewards from Ritual, and we wanted that to still be present in the campaign, but we just couldn't give one out in every single area. Throughout each act, 2 times, and once in each interlude part, you'll see these clusters of more epic ritual effigies on the world map. When you reach these areas, you'll notice that unlike normal, the effigies aren't just in a random location in the area, but they're on top of the area's boss fight. By completing these boss rituals, the boss will then be carried forward and added to the next ritual in the cluster in the next area, where you'll face it as part of an increasingly dangerous series of boss waves. For example,
Oh, like Breach.
the first cluster you'll encounter is shown here, containing large effigies in Clearfell, Mudburrow, the Grelwood, and the Grim Tangle. If you complete the ritual in Clearfell, the Hag boss will appear during the ritual in the Mudburrow, alongside the Devourer.
Bruh.
Once you've
Boss,
completed that
on
area,
boss, on
the
boss.
ritual in the Grelwood will include Bramblegast, alongside the Hag and the Devourer. Then, to top it off, when you get to Grim Tangle, the ritual in that area will have its boss, the Rotten Druid, and the previous 3, totaling 4 boss fights and 1 epic final
Oh
showdown.
my god.
That's where the unique rewards come into play. By completing
Yeah,
these
way
epic
too
boss ritual
crazy.
encounters, you then get to spend your tribute on unique items. Given
Any
Ritual
goodies?
is the content of the league, we wanted to make sure it worked in multiplayer well. Historically, only the creator of the area gets to spend tribute at the end, while your friends just have to watch. We've made some improvements to this experience. In 055, every party member earns their own tribute and can spend it on their own rewards.
Nice.
So no one has to miss out.
Nice.
In order to make it not too rewarding in groups, we've restricted it so party members are unable to reroll the shop and they have fewer options available to choose from.
I used to get something.
So that's the campaign and a multiplayer improvement. But what about the endgame? Given that Ritual was already available to be added to your maps, well, once you reach the endgame, you'll still have Ritual encounters in every area, and they'll still give unique items and omens, but we've added 1 extra mechanic here to add new difficulty and reward heights to your in-game maps. After completing rituals in endgame, you want to keep an eye out for this item, a Sacred Bloom,
Okay.
which you can spend tribute on to acquire. If you happen to find one, you can then use it and apply an entrance to the Wildwood to an in-game map of your choice on the Atlas. Then, when you enter that map, you'll find this entrance at the start of the area. By entering it, you're sent into the Wildwood. You have limited time here, but while in the Wildwood you can find wisps, and you want to follow the trails of them and collect as many as possible.
Where's the timer?
There are 3 different types of wisps: Primal, Vivid, and Wild. When you then have to exit the Wildwood, the wisps are freed and will spread across the map, possessing and influencing many monsters. Primal wisps, when freed, can cause normal monsters to become magic monsters. Vivid wisps, when freed, can add additional modifiers to rare monsters. And wild wisps add rarity of items drop to all monsters. If you're really lucky, keep an eye out for these sacred wisps. I wonder what they do. Of course, you can gather all 3 types of wisps if you really want to juice your maps. And by using ritual tablets, you can increase the amount of wisps found while in the Wildwood. Be warned though, while affected monsters drop better items, the wisps also empower them, making them considerably more difficult to defeat. So,
Alright, I
that's
see enough.
the Forbidden Rites event.
I see enough.
While it isn't a full league in the traditional sense, it gives you the perfect opportunity to start in a fresh economy. For those of you who enjoy having clear goals to work towards, this event league also introduces a new set of 8 challenges. These include completing the campaign rituals, defeating named rare monsters,
What do you get?
reaching level 90, and more. Completing them will earn you 4 exclusive cosmetic rewards and a statue for your hideout to commemorate your success.
Okay, cosmetics.
Swarm your enemies with the Locust Footprints effect. And send your foes scurrying to their demise with the Locust Swarm Finisher effect.
Damn.
Fear the dark no longer with your Wildwood Guardian pet at your side. And level up in fashion with the Wildwood Affliction level up effect. Next, let's talk about the Trial of Chaos. Since early access launch,
Okay, I didn't go
we've
into all the
received a
leagues right
lot
now.
of feedback about the Trial of Chaos.
But this is where we're gonna take a
It
break.
was just obvious.
we'll catch the rest of this later. There's way too much going on. We wanted to see the Duelist. We checked out Duelist. I'm super hyped. This was on the Path of Exile channel. So if you want to watch the rest of it, I'm going to watch it later on. But we got to take care of some things. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay smooth till next time. Dear Gamer, signing out.